What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 34 of One Podcast for Nerds. I'm your host, as always, Andrew, and with me, as usual, is Austin.
Hello.
Nolan.
That's me.
And if you are lucky enough, you could be watching us live on Twitch this episode, as we will be streaming future episodes every Saturday, starting at usually 7 p.m., except for today, because someone's an asshole.
Yep, he was.
He was an
Wasn't
asshole.
me.
No, it wasn't me. Austin.
Wasn't me either. It was a
Yeah,
customer.
sure. Yeah.
Anybody who comes in like 5 minutes before the store closes, I'm sorry, but you're an asshole, right? That's just how it goes. It's not me.
Oh, I feel the same way at the liquor store, man. I locked that. I turned the lights off 5-2.
I was about to lock the door, and the motherfucker just walked past me. I was like,
I said, you should have, I mean, it's Canada, but stand your ground. Just poke his eyes out with like the corner of an album and tell him the fuck off.
Start throwing vinyl at him like it's like
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I'll be your Nick Frost.
Hell yeah.
Remember, you can always follow us on Twitch and Instagram at One Podcast for Nerds, as well as you can email us at onepodcastfornerds@gmail.com. That's number 4. You can find those in the description below. As well as you can support us through the Acast supporting system. You can find a link to that below. And as always, you can buy One Podcast for a mug from mainjams.com. Again, you can find that in the descriptions below. All right, so I got all that crap out of the way. So Spider-Man 2 trailer came out since we last talked, I believe, and it was highly anticipated. It was originally released in a theater in California, simultaneously getting released globally on YouTube and wherever else you decide to watch that shit. Thoughts?
I still stand my ground. I think the other two Spider-Mans are going to be in there. Because there's a wide shot, like a really, really wide shot for just one Spider-Man to be in it. And then if you're watching really closely, 1 second, Andrew, I see your face. If you're watching really closely,
I know what you're going to say.
You see Lizard jumping up and then all of a sudden just like kind of like get kicked by fucking nothing and just like fall over backwards.
So first off, that was actually not in every trailer. That was only in the Brazilian Sony trailer, I believe.
It was also in one of the trailer ones that I watched on my PlayStation. It wasn't from Brazil.
Oh, yeah, because everyone was like saying like, oh, did Sony, I don't know if it was Sony Brazil or something like that, screw up because they showed that shot in particular. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I know when that happened, everyone's like speculations. Like I was just like, oh fuck, I don't know, man. But then everyone started linking those photos of Andrew Garfield like as Spider-Man, like on the wires, like on the bars and stuff. And he's like, oh, it's photoshops. But then like there's like that whole scene, with the bars and stuff. So I maintain that I am unsure. I don't really want to like say yes or no because I honestly don't know. And if they're in it, sweet. I want to be I want to be surprised. I don't want to be spoiled that way. Are we going to buy tickets to just all go see it? I think that they get released on the 29th, I think, right? They go on sale.
What?
I'll do that.
All right. So we should look into doing that. But I mean, like, how are we feeling about it though? Like after seeing that second trailer and everything and kind of like giving small glimpse of where the plot's going, and
I find it kind of interesting. Like where Doctor Strange straight up tells a teenager, yeah, you're going to have to kill these people because they're technically already dead in their own universes, right? And you're like, and Spider-Man's like trying to run away at the box and somebody tries to run away. But it's just like, so is like Doctor Strange going to like force Peter to kill these people? Like, what's going to happen? But at the end there, like when the whole multiverse is like shattering, right? Like, cool. It's no blue. It's just another version of like the blue beam into space as they always do in every single superhero movie. But, yeah, I mean it's kind of cool still.
I'm hoping for Spider-Pig.
Yeah,
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
Yeah. Well, I mean they did it in Enter the Spider-Verse, so I can't even tell you no, it's going to be too silly. But so
let's be honest, Nicolas Cage is going to show up in the movie. We all know that.
I hope Miles shows up. Anything at all. Like I don't even.
Did you hear about Tom Holland, what he was saying, like, and all that stuff?
Yeah, he wants he wants to evolve. He wants Spider-Man to evolve with him leaving the role and Miles Morales coming in.
Well, like
That'd
he
be
was saying,
pretty
he's like, if I'm doing this past 30, then I'm doing something wrong.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
playing
Yeah.
Spider-Man. And then he was just like, he's like, I think it'd be time. Like, I think it'd be great for me to move on. And then they bring in like a Miles Morales into the universe. I agree. I would. I mean, like, who would play that? I don't know. Like, I can't really think of anyone that I'd like to see play that. But like, it would be. It would just be great. I mean, like, I was actually telling you. So I finally saw like Shang-Chi, right? And or sorry, Shang-Chi. And anyways, and so it's just amazing, like seeing like a Canadian Asian actor like skyrocket that hard. And then I don't know if you guys know, but they're doing a live action Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
And another Canadian is now going to play Uncle Iroh.
Yep.
And they're both from the same goddamn TV show that started on CBC.
Yeah.
Kim's Convenience.
Actually, yeah, the complete series is actually being released on the 23rd. It's a good show. If you guys ever watched Kim's Convenience, it's really funny.
I watched the start of it, but it's funny though, because I mean, not that this matter isn't relevant to anybody, but unless you live in Canada, but I do pay monthly for CBC.
Oh hell yeah. Do you know that the guy who played Aladdin in the live action, or I guess technically it's live action, Aladdin is Canadian as well?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did you know that the same guy who's going to play Uncle Iroh is also in The Mandalorian?
Yeah, that's the guy who is X-Wing pilot.
Yeah, he plays a rebel.
Oh, it's the dad from Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah! I didn't know he was playing Iroh. I was just going like, I was just there going like, oh yeah, I understand.
No, yeah. It's Appa.
And he's the one that they gave him Wedge's helmet, wasn't it?
Biggs.
Or Biggs, yeah.
They gave him Biggs' helmet, and he like literally profusely cried on set. So, because he was just like, "Is this Biggs' helmet?" They're like, "Yeah," and he just like cried, just putting on the helmet.
That's so heartwarming, you know.
He showed up his own costume and everything.
He not just one. Oh yeah, he did build his own. His X-Wing pilot costume is his own. But like, it's not even just that. Other than the helmet that they fitted a helmet for him specifically, but he has like a full skill like Stormtrooper, Mandalorian. Like you follow him on, if you have Instagram or Twitter, man, just go look at his collection. It's ridiculous. Like it's fucking crazy. And he's a huge nerd, and it's really awesome. I will say, I think he's a little too young looking to play Iroh, but I think he's going to do a great job.
He'll dye his hair gray and like give him a little gray like.
Yeah, it's nothing makeup can't fix.
Yeah, he'll be able to do it.
No.
Before we get too far away from Spider-Man, I just want to say, you know what's one character I'm really surprised is showing up?
Who?
Sandman. Because in Spider-Man 3, Sandman was a really good part of Spider-Man 3, but he wasn't really like a bad guy, right?
No.
He's only fighting Spider-Man out of like circumstance, right? So it's just like it seems kind of out of place. So I wonder how they're gonna do it. Like, are they just gonna be like, yeah, this is Sandman from another universe, not the one that we've seen, kind of thing, like the Sam Raimi one? But who knows? Like,
yeah, because I was gonna say, has he ever actually played like a bad person though?
Yeah, in the original cartoon in the 80s, he was.
In the comics. And in the comics, it was just in the movie they made him more sympathetic.
I was even gonna say, like in the 1990 cartoon of Spider-Man, he also wasn't, he was doing it to take care of his family as well, like the same way that they took it like into the movies of Episode 3. The circumstances were ideally the same of why he was robbing like trucks, like bank trucks and stuff. So,
and it looks like Doc Ock gets taken out pretty quickly in the movie. Right?
Sorry,
just
who?
from the trailer, Doc Ock.
Oh,
right, because they're like he's in the like Doctor Strange's little magic prison thing. They're making fun of his name. I hope he breaks out because Doc Ock is really, really cool, and I think it'd be awesome. And I'd be kind of sad to have him get taken out like right away.
Well, he's my favorite Spider-Man villain, and the actor that plays him is brilliant.
I was gonna say theory wise, I think the reason why they would capture him because he's the most he is, because of what you guys are saying, he is the most prominent like villain to show up in this movie. Not like to the movie, but to all of us knowing him and stuff. But everyone really did like 2 more than they liked 1. Not, no, I'm not saying that they
movie
like,
wise, not comic wise. Okay,
yeah. But anyways, and so I think the reason why they capture him is to like kind of make that link of like, oh, what's happening, and like,
what do you think?
Yeah, go for it. But I was gonna finish my thought real quick, which types, but I was just gonna say, I think that he's captured to like theorize like, oh, like he's basically getting like, what do you call it? Interrogated to
Help them?
Yeah, well, not to help them, but like be like, where are you from? Like, why do you say I'm not Peter Parker? Like, because like he's just like, you're not Peter and stuff like that.
I think that'd be a really good idea. Like, and it's a really good callback too.
So to clarify,
I was going to say no one can read that except for us.
To clarify, a viewer said that they have a theory that's been said to death, and they believe that because in the trailer, the actress that plays Mary Jane falls, and what we can't see if Spider-Man saves her, and she says that I have a theory that Garfield is going to be the one that saves Zendaya, who plays Mary Jane, and redemption from Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is actually, that's a pretty solid theory. I mean, because they do end on that note, and I think that's actually, kind of a smart thing to do if that happened.
All you see is the hand, right? The spider in the glove, so it could be any of them, right? So I think that's really, really good.
Also, like, it also doesn't really like, I mean, I don't know, I guess from me watching it, but like it goes from him like kind of being in a black suit to being in his normal suit to like, but like it doesn't really, like, it just seems like so sporadic in the trailer that it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem to like work together in a way. Do you know what I mean?
So only reason why I have a little bit of insight into this is because they released the pop figures for Spider-Man No Way Home. And so I know, so there's 2 different Doctor Strange costumes, right? And there's 2 different Spider-Man ones. So I like, he probably, his regular one from like Tony Stark gets torn up fighting a Doc Ock, I imagine. So then he kind of goes back to his original like Stark one from Homecoming. Then like Doctor Strange kind of like spoofs it up with some magic, and then he's gonna end in the black one, I think. It's like black and gold, so I think it's gonna be like vibranium tech and everything.
But it just seems from like the fight scenes though, like it's just like, okay, he's standing still in a black costume, but then like when you said, they do that huge wide shot, and it almost would seem to me, if I was to, I mean, I'm not a director, but if I was to be a director or a movie writer, I would be like, oh, hey, this wide shot is basically the last fight, and he's in his normal costume.
So that's what I think. I think it's going to be the magic one where it has like the Doctor Strange golden thing over the spider.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
No, I really like that idea, Olivia. I think that's honestly, it'd be the only way to really make Amazing Spider-Man really work with the universe, because Amazing Spider-Man had its moments for me personally as a fan, but like most of it were swings and misses. So I think your theory is probably the best one, even though, like you said, it has been thrown around quite a bit.
And that was the viewer who said the statement earlier that I mentioned, just to clarify for people who can't view the video. All right, so we're all pretty much excited for No Way Home.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Right on, sweet cheese. All right, let's move on. So anyone who is new to the podcast or who is a longtime listener, Belgium, we're looking at you.
Oh yeah, Belgium.
We started streaming every Tuesday. We actually started streaming Gloomhaven specifically, which I think is hilarious, because I'm pretty sure when we tagged it to Gloomhaven last week, people thought we were either playing the tabletop simulator or playing the Steam video version of the game. But no, we were streaming the legit board game, and we were playing. For anyone who doesn't know, Gloomhaven is basically a one-time playthrough game that comes with a booklet. You basically read the story, you pick a character, You can unlock new characters, unlock areas, almost like a very simplified Dungeons and Dragons, but with kind of everything done for you. But the RPG stance more or less is the same. It's a pretty fun game. We stream it. Yeah, like I said, we stream it every Tuesday. Do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about regarding Gloomhaven or like experience wise or?
What I want
as
to
a
do
game?
is I want to play Gloomhaven and then play Dragons in afterwards. Or no, what the hell is that called?
Red Dragon
Right.
Keep
That's
or Red
it.
Dragon Inn.
Yeah,
Red
Red Dragon
Dragon
Inn.
in
They're
afterwards.
pretty close. I like you just forgot the color, but it was really good.
Do you guys are both you guys? This is basically your second experience with Gloomhaven. As for me, I've played like a few missions through already. So like, what are your guys' thoughts on the game and stuff like that?
Played a lot of tabletop games, and it's definitely the most like varied. Like, there's a lot of different little things in this game that are completely different from any other game I've ever played.
Such as?
Dungeons and Dragons, Mutants and Masterminds.
Sorry. What I meant to clarify is what little things do you find? Yeah. Sorry.
So like you said, so essentially continuously like it's one meant for one whole playthrough. Like if you don't get the certain kit that Andrew has, right, you're supposed to rip up your character sheets and everything like that and just throw it away, right? So essentially, like my character is like this roguish character, and you have a little card that has like that character's goal. And once you complete that character's goal, it's finished and done. Right, that character is done. They leave, and they never you never even play with them again. And you unlock
He just
a
says,
different
"Fuck
character.
you, I'm retired," and walks off.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And you unlock a different character, and then you're that character for the next missions until you complete their like goal.
Or an already unlocked character you can choose as well.
And it's just like it's really interesting because especially when you play a lot of tabletop games, you become attached to the character you're playing. Right, you get used to a certain play style and everything like that, and it makes you really have to adapt, which is really interesting because when you play a lot of tabletop games, you tend to like go into categories. Either you like to play frontlines, or you like to play spellcasters, yada yada yada, like that, right? And with this one, like you could be playing like a rogue and then end up playing like a tank, or then end up going to a spellcaster. So you're like your position can be all fucked up. So it's just nice. It keeps you kind of more interested in it because you're doing all these different things at once.
Nolan, what are your thoughts on the game? Like being as like, again, you've played it only a handful of times.
No, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and I remember I used to play a few games like that when I was a lot younger. And like Austin said, like you were either a tank or a wizard or something like that, or a cleric in the back. And this one, the characters are a lot more varied, a lot different, and no, I'm just really looking forward to opening up my next character.
I mean, you shouldn't though, because I love your Rat Man.
Oh, I have a lot of fun with him. I think he's great.
Yeah, sorry. What are you again?
I don't know what his class is called, but he's literally a rat man.
Like that, but
he's literally a rat man.
Yeah, because you're not.
He's
you're
like
not,
some kind of like psychic or like telepathic rat.
You're not a tinker. You're not Tinker. I can't remember what your name was.
He summons rats though. Like he has a minion, was just
He's
like
a
horde of
vermling.
rats.
A vermling.
A vermling. And he doesn't like people.
He likes to take a lot
That's
of
why I
gold.
want to play Red Dragon in afterwards and fuck you all. Even though I was the first one out the last few times we played that.
I kind of equate this game as closely as I can with what would be like a video game in any shape or form, right? Like, I mean, and I say that because like you have a story that's already driven out with you. It's linear for the most part, I will say, with side quests as you go, but you start as a character. You have your ending career goal, which is what Austin said, where your player retires. You get to unlock a bunch of things. You can play as a new character and continue on. But it's just the fact that like it's one of few board games where you play and you're like, okay, what's actually going to happen? Or you have that thing being like, okay, like what's next? Like I really want to level up. I really want to do this. I really want to do that. And you have to keep playing the story to complete all these goals that you're setting out for yourself. And I thoroughly enjoy that because like I'm gonna equate it to how I play Far Cry 3, where it's like I want to get new things, I want to get new weapons, I want to get new gear, I want to unlock new perks, and that is ideally how this game plays out on its own. Because as you level up, you unlock new perks. As you play through and complete missions, you unlock new weapons, new gear. You discover new areas where you can unlock like special weapons, special gear. You get treasure, which you never know what's going to be. And it's a really interesting game in that aspect, to where you can grow close to your character and then just basically be like, I can't play this person anymore for the rest of the game, and you pick someone new. But then you have like that whole, you kind of, and each character has their own set of skills, and so you get to like relearn some things or play something different, and kind of relearn and re-strategize how you play the game without it seeming boring or like a huge drag down in a way. So I to me, that's like, that's how I view Gloomhaven in a nutshell. And I mean, if you have 150 bucks Canadian or equivalent to your dollar value to throw around, that is a highly anticipated game. And I also learned that there is a version of that game that teaches you how to play, which I didn't know about.
That would have been pretty nice.
You know what? I think in hindsight though, like even if you were to like be given a tutorial to like play through, I think it's actually not too much at the start to dive into, because the game is pretty forgiving at the start. But like as you progress through the dungeons and progress through the map and the world, it does get harder, right? Because like we started playing together last year. Then obviously the pandemic happened and we couldn't play for a while. So then me and Victoria continued playing a little bit. And we got like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 missions in, and it gets profusely harder. And even to play at your like normal difficulty of setting the monsters at your level, it is still, to me, quite difficult actually from times. And now that we're playing with 4 players, all the monsters are on the map, all the elites are on the map, and it's just trying to work the way through that. So yeah. Next on the docket would be Halo Infinite. I've got a nice early release for Halo Infinite multiplayer for Xbox's 20th anniversary, which was graciously shown by The Rock, if anyone remembers 20 years ago. And I just want to know, like it's been 20 years of Xbox. I know 2 or 3 of us have played Xbox. One of us not so much. One of us is more recently new to it via Game Pass. Sorry.
X-Pass.
Yeah, that's what they should have called it. But yeah, so let's do a nice little walk down. We're gonna lead up to the Halo multiplayer Infinite, because I know Austin's probably watched some videos on it. I'm more than positive he has. Nolan has not played it, but I'm gonna get him to. But Austin, let's talk Xbox. What's your experience? 20 years. 20 years, and Xbox One came out.
Man.
Did you even have an OG Xbox?
Yeah. Well, no, technically I did not. My uncle did. I used to go over to his house a lot when I first moved to my hometown. And I used to play a lot of Halo 2 and Halo on that. And it got to the point where he just kind of like didn't want anymore. So he gave it to my older brother, and then I'd play it on that. And I used to download any chance I'd get. I'd go to the movie store and rent any game I could possibly get my hands on. Right. I didn't officially own an Xbox until the 360, and I put an unhealthy amount of hours into Halo, an unhealthy amount of hours, to the point where it's just like I probably still know every single inch of every single map of Halo 3.
I actually don't know who. I mean, anyone who's played the game, I wouldn't know who wouldn't, to be honest. But
like, know the exact layout of all of the Forge stuff to build maps and everything like that. I know exactly where everything is. And it got to the point where like it was still, when I had bought my PlayStation 4 on release when it came out, I was still playing on Xbox because there was no games out on my PlayStation. And I wanted to buy an Xbox One, but it wasn't in the cards for me at the time. But only real reason I had an Xbox is because I loved to play Halo, and it was my game. I didn't like it as much as anything else, right? Um, so any other like multiplayer game, it just didn't work out for me. So when it came to like Halo, and I remember watching Halo 4 and then Halo 5 and how disappointing Halo 5 Guardians was. It was just too much like Call of Duty and like Battlefield. It didn't feel like Halo. And then like I think it was 2 years ago, E3 they showed off. I was watching the Microsoft conference and they showed Halo, and it was like I almost got a little emotional, kind of thing like that. Just because it was perfect. Like Halo Infinite looked perfect. It was the trailer and everything like that, and the I don't remember the character's name yet, but his whole like story of his family and everything like that, and how it plays Master Chief's theme as he like wipes the glass and he sees Chief floating there in like the space, and it was awesome. And I've been following. If Andrew's not kidding, he kind of called me out, but he's not kidding. I've been following this game since it like came out, like the first trailer, and the multiplayer looks amazing. I haven't had the pleasure of playing it yet myself. It looks like it's a mixture of like Reach and 3 with a little bit of like spice of life from 5 in there.
Where does Combat Evolved fit in the
Combat
order
Evolved
of all
is the
that?
very first Halo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, so
You
that's
are
what I'm playing.
technically
you are
Reach is a
way in the
prequel.
back.
Yeah, technically,
Yeah.
Reach is a prequel, but Combat Evolved came out, I believe, like what, like 99?
Combat Evolved came out in 2000.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Combat Evolved came out like something like 10 years before Reach did.
No,
But
it would be Combat Evolved would have came out in 2001 because it's 20 years of Xbox, and Halo 1 launched day one
okay,
with
perfect.
Xbox.
Okay.
So but yeah, so like my entire like gaming life on Xbox was for Halo. So with Guardians, or not Guardians, with Infinite coming out here, and depending on how the campaign looks, at least from the hour like demos I've been watching people play, it is worth my time, and I think I will try to find an Xbox or a way to play it.
You can actually play it on you'll probably be able to play it on your computer.
Laptop.
Hopefully, this laptop's pretty shitty.
Well, no, because if you get Xbox Game Cloud, xCloud, you can actually just get an Xbox controller and you could just play it on your. You could get Xbox Game Pass. You have to pay a little extra because you're getting xCloud.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But then you can play on your. I think it's like what, $16 a month or something like that.
That's fine.
And you can play all the Halo games already.
Oh,
you could play with me and Nolan.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
it was. I will admit, it was pretty frustrating watching Nolan shoot you in the back in fucking Halo 1. It's funny for the first little bit, but like after watching your shield and you go down to red health like 4 times, it wasn't funny anymore.
No. I have played Halo Infinite. I've only played a few rounds. I'm a little rusty, I think, and also the layout of the maps is different. It's very different, and I say different because like I didn't play. Oh, even with Halo 4, it's really not much. Like, I didn't play 5 or anything like that. But
is it more like the layout's more like high up and there's a lot more higher reach places because you have the grappling hook and everything like that?
No, it's more like I kind of hate how they have the weapon. Like, my one gripe with the whole thing is how the weapons are laid out.
Really?
So
why? What's up?
Because the weapons are always on the walls, but like you learn kind of where they are, and then they do drops, and the drops are like invisibility or energy, like powerful energy weapons and stuff like that, which is fine. Like, that's fine. But I don't know. It's just something, and to pick them up, like, it's a little more. I find that to pick up a weapon takes a little longer than like going up and like hitting X and picking it up, right? So I think that's like my one gripe with the game is the weapons layout and the way the weapon system is to pick things up, and also because sometimes weapons aren't always there, but they look like they're there, and like like it'll be like a red outline, which means like the weapon's not there, But like when you're, I mean, for me, and it could be like my monitor, but when you're far away, it almost looks like it's there. So you're like kind of running towards something, and then it's not.
Well, I mean, if it's a popular weapon, like it's like a power weapon, you should probably be heading that way anyways, because you know other people are going to be there, and you can try to get
But
points for your
it's
team that way.
well, it's not. So it's not. It's yeah. So it's not a power weapon. Like drops happen in specific times, and it actually shows you where the drops are and when the drops are happening for like more powerful weapons. It's just these are just more generic weapons you find on the map, right?
Oh, like
I
the
know.
DMR.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Also, some people have gripes. I know some people right now are having gripes with the game, like the seasons pass, because like
So it's a grind and a half, apparently.
it's not just that though, but like right now, so like you get weekly challenges. It's weekly challenges, and so you get like 3 challenges, and some of them just are really hard to do. Like one will be like, oh, like destroy 3 banshees in multiplayer, but the thing is like more than half the maps don't have banshees, so like that's something that's super hard to like do, right?
Well, I mean, like,
So,
not every map needs to be giant and have vehicles on it, right? Some
but
of
the
them
thing is,
are better to be smaller.
but when it's your challenge to destroy those vehicles,
Oh,
it's
there no like
hard,
Big
right?
Team Slayer?
There is Big Team Slayer.
Then why don't you do Big Team Slayer? Because there are only large maps on that one because it's 100v100.
So I don't, yes, but I
Or
don't
50v50,
know.
sorry.
I don't know what vehicles are on each one. I don't think a Banshee's on every Big Team Slayer though, right?
It would be because they have to use the larger maps because if it was 50v50 on a small map, it would just be horrible.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not arguing the size of the map. I'm saying I'm just arguing what vehicles would be on that map. Like they could be Hornets instead of Banshees. You know what I mean? Like it just could be.
In the older ones, I like I said, I've only watched
Yeah, I know,
one
no,
map.
I know.
Is one Hornet and one Banshee kind of thing like that, usually on opposite sides.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played Big Team Slayer, so I couldn't honestly say. I just know that like some things like that are just a little bit challenging for some people who are playing online. Do I care about the Game Pass thing, Season Pass thing? No, I really don't. I don't give a shit what my fucking Spartan looks like at all. Like I've been playing Apex Legends for 3 years now.
Still have the
And
base skin.
yeah, no, actually, I have so many like high-end legendary skins from just playing the game. Like it's just like, look, man, as long as it doesn't affect how I shoot people or the weapons I get and shit like that, I actually do not give a fuck.
So I just have a question. Is Recon like the special armor for the first set? Because I think that'd be really cool and a good callback to Halo 3.
I do not know.
Because Nolan, just for you, Recon is an armor that Bungie used to give out to people for like, I don't know, community being good in the community, having high skill, competing in tournaments and everything like that. Or you could be like me and just email them like 30 times until they did go fine, leave me alone, and then they give me Recon, right? So yeah, so it'd be cool because it was kind of like the very first exclusive armor from like any of like the Halo kind of multiplayer stuff. So it'd just be a nice callback. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I was gonna say though, like just on the because we're here and whatever on the conversation of Xbox's 20th anniversary. I was actually in Brazil when Xbox got released, and it was super expensive there. Like even equivalent to Canadian dollars, it was expensive. I think it was like close to like $900,000 or something like that. And yeah, I know it was gross. And I mean, it was an expensive console.
Wow.
Though, it was expensive to begin with, though. So I think on release, wasn't it like $400?
I think it was at least $200 more expensive than PS2.
Yeah, it was quite expensive. Anyways, and so my grandfather gave me some money while I was in Brazil and whatever, and it ended up being enough for me to come home, and I bought an original Xbox with the Duke. Mm-hmm. And I got Mech Assaults was the first game I got because I loved Mech Warrior. Super disappointed it was not like Mech Warrior. And it was that fucking third person view and not the first person view. That was garbage.
I thought you were gonna say Advance Wars because it just keep up with the lore.
No, actually, Advance Wars didn't come out yet.
Oh,
yeah, fuck. No, your Advance Wars, bro. But anyways, so I was a little disappointed. But my first, I mean, on Halo's subject, my first experience with Halo was I had an Xbox, my brother had an Xbox, I'm pretty sure I told the story before. He was away for like a weekend or a week or whatever, and I went downstairs, snagged it, brought it upstairs, and I started playing on my Xbox because, like, as a kid, my parents didn't give me a curfew, and so like I'd play Xbox on a school night till like whatever, or I play Halo on an Xbox on a school night. Did I say that sentence properly? I don't know words. I would play until like 1 a.m. or something like that, and man, I fell in love with that game. And then Halo 2 came out, and I was in high school, and I was super excited. And at the time, there was Zellers before Target bought them all.
Oh, Zellers, fuck!
And
Putting date on you there, buddy.
I went to Zellers, and I went to go buy Halo 2, and the guy's like, "Are you 18?" I think I was 15 at the time. I was like, "Oh no." He's like, "Oh, I can't sell it to you." And then his coworker was like, "Oh man, don't do that." And then the guy who like who was like telling me he consults me, he was like, "Well, he could have lied to me. I'm not gonna check." And I'm like, "Well, fuck, dude. Like, then just sell it to me. Like, I'm here already." So I actually had to go back to the other side of the mall, go get my mom, and be like, "Hey, can you like, can we go do this?" And then I ended up with Halo 2, and man, I played. That was when Xbox Live launched. Was when Halo 2 came
Great
out.
name.
It was
Why
one of
was
the
there an
first.
age restriction on it though?
You had to be
Mature.
17 or 18. Yeah, it was mature.
Yeah, you have to
So
be
17
17 to play mature games.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be 17.
Yeah, according to Zeller's guy, you had to be 17. No ID required.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's just to be like, if parents complain and be like, "Hey, my
Yeah.
kid was playing this game and then he like stabbed somebody. Like, this is your fault." The game company's like, "Well, it's rated 17. You're a bad parent for letting your kids play this game," kind of thing like that. It's in defense.
Regardless if this guy insults me, he could still like drop the blame on my parents. It wouldn't have mattered. Like, it's a who said she said situation. But anyways.
Also, Andrew, speaking of old Halo, like matchmaking and everything like that in lobbies, I sent a meme into the general Discord for you. I want you to tell me how accurate it is.
And you know what though? Like, let's be honest. Like, Xbox Live back in the day, like a general conversation, and Xbox. Oh, no.
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty funny.
That's what Among Us is like already.
a little bit, but it's not even close, man. You haven't lived like matchmaking until somebody's told you they fucked your mom like 30 times.
Okay, so here's the thing though, is that when I played Halo, teabagging came in like later.
Oh,
but Halo 2, man, racial slurs, like that shit just wasn't. I didn't experience any of that, or people telling me like they're gonna fuck my mom and stuff like that. Came so much later in that series for me. Like, and I played online a lot, and that's when you went into a lobby and you could talk to the entire party, and then later on you went into a lobby, you could only talk to your team party. And so, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like when they took away like the opportunity to talk to an entire lobby, I feel like this game got so much more violent.
Well, because the best part is you could talk to the entire lobby, right? In Halo 3.
Yeah.
You could talk to the entire lobby when you're waiting to get into the game, but the moment you got into the game, right, you can only talk to your teammates, right? But it was always awesome because you're sitting there. If you're just like filleting everybody on the other team, right? You get into the lobby, you walk into that lobby like a big dick in a locker room, man. You're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I'm here. You guys are all pussies. Like, how's it feel?" Right? And it's just like, it was awesome because it was like the game, right, wasn't the fun part. It was the what's it called? The game was the trash talking in the lobbies. That was the fun part.
And
it's like the weigh-in before an MMA.
Yeah, it was good, but yeah. So that was that was my experience with Halo 2 and stuff like that. And I finally got Halo 2, and then Xbox 360 came out with Halo 3 and ODST and stuff. And I ended up going through 4 Xboxes, not because of the Red Ring of Death, just upgraded slowly because like that console was amazing. And
not quite as good as the PlayStation 2, but very, very good.
No. But I mean, like, if I was to rank, I mean, I'm sure the Xbox Series S and X right now are like top tier. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, if I was to rank everything, you know, if with my time being with those consoles and stuff, 360 is always number one.
Mhm.
That console was amazing. The UI was amazing. The games on there were great.
Intuitive.
Yeah, but like PS2 would have been with the original Xbox, and then you would have like, to me, because they released PS2 came out in 2004.
No, it
Xbox
was over
came out in
before that.
2006.
It was 2006.
The
Xbox
PS2?
360. The Xbox 360.
No, PS2.
Because I had a
PS2, I
PS2
think, came out in
before
like
I.
2002, I believe.
No,
Yeah.
it was
So,
before that because I had one for a couple of years before I left Kamloops, and I
but
left in 2002. So I think it came out in
You look it up,
2000.
Andrew.
I don't want to, but
But I
PlayStation,
was never an Xbox guy because I
that would
always
make
played
sense actually.
PlayStation.
Yeah, because PlayStation came out in 1997, 1998. PlayStation 1 came out even 1999 in that year. So yeah, that makes sense to wait that amount of decades. Yeah, but no, man, those are good games, good systems, and then Xbox
PlayStation 2 came out March 4th, 2000.
Really, when did PS1 come out? We've had this conversation before.
We
It must have been
definitely
like
have.
96
Well, we also
or
talked about Halo in music behind the games. 1994, December 3rd, PlayStation came out.
Oh wow, that long ago.
Your face! Your face!
No way.
That's what Google says. PlayStation introduced December 3rd, 1994.
And you can believe anything on the internet, so.
And actually, I was wrong about the Xbox 360. Xbox 360 came out 2005.
But yeah, I never
Look
played
at him.
Xbox. The first Xbox game I ever played was Halo when we streamed it.
Yeah,
Because
it was really funny.
I always played PlayStation, and I remember when Microsoft first got into gaming, they had all the money, but they didn't have the games that PlayStation had, and a lot of people didn't think that Microsoft was really going to make a go of it.
Well, I mean,
So I just
the
left.
regular Xbox was a failure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it didn't do that well.
and so I just stayed away from it, and then eventually I moved abroad and stopped playing games for a little bit.
1995 PS1 came to North America.
Yeah, but Google says it was introduced.
Yeah, that
Japan.
Japan. It came out in Japan that year. Okay,
it's true, but still 5 years.
No. I know, but like, I mean, at least to me, like 1995 made a little more sense.
Still, I wish I had a screenshot your face.
It's on Twitch. Don't worry, you can watch it whenever you want at this mark. At the 1 minute and 44 second mark, or 1 hour and 44 second. Yeah. So, and then Nolan, I guess Xbox Game Pass was really your introduction to anything Xbox at all.
Yeah,
man, Halo. It's just there's nothing like it. You know, like I play a lot of Destiny, as we've talked about on the podcast a lot. I've been fucking enslaved to Destiny for too long, but it's still like nothing just feels like Halo, man. Nothing. It's Old Faithful, and I'm happy it's back.
Yeah, it's a good game. All right. Well, I had more to go on, but it was mostly just like what we have going on in our lives, and we can do that next episode. I think we're gonna stop there with Halo, Gloomhaven, and the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. It was a bit of a short episode this week because I get to edit it, and it makes my life so much goddamn easier. If you want to watch the full episode unedited, everything, you can go to www.twitch.tv/1p4n, and you can watch the whole fucking thing, video and all.
Oh, the whole fucking thing.
Whole fucking thing. You can sit here and watch me be by myself for 30 minutes doodling on my face on the Twitch thing.
I seen you go live at like 3:00 at work, and I was sitting there. I was like, I want to click it, but I'm playing music through my phone right now.
Oh, I was just playing Far Cry.
How is it?
It's good. It's it's fun to go back to actually, and it didn't age awfully. I think the fact you can't climb and jump over whatever the fuck you want's kind of annoying. I also like the NPCs in that game are stupid.
Very
So
dumb.
I know, because I was riding on a boat trying to commandeer one of their boats, and so I was like, oh, if I stop in front of the boat, he'll stop. Nope, just right through me, killed me instantly. Just no lead of shame whatsoever.
If you need help getting shark fins for upgrading your holsters, just get a boat and you can run over sharks.
Oh no, I've
Instantly
actually
kills them. Instantly kills them.
I've actually already I'm on like the
You weren't expecting that, Nolan, were you?
I'm on like the 6th mission, and I'm almost have maxed out most of my crafting material.
Yeah.
So
So,
I did
I
basically.
love how in video games you can just kill all these animals that are endangered in real life, and it's like, oh, it's just fun. We'll just run them all over. Fucking
dude,
kill
Yeah,
them.
the tigers are the really scary ones, man. Tigers will fuck you up.
you do you now if you have a bow, they're actually pretty easy to kill with a bow. They're 3 shots and they're dead.
I was cheap. I waited till because after a while they would like the pirates would capture tigers and leave them in cages so you can
And then
shoot them
shoot them.
and then they run out. But like
Uh,
it was like a double entendre because I was also trying to catch the outpost, but then I also got to skin a tiger because all the pirates had killed the tiger. So I was like, oh, this is perfect.
yeah, the worst part of that game is when you when you do the hunting missions and you have to go hunt for like a rare golden tiger. You're like, yeah, there's only one of these on the island, and you are gonna go kill it. All right, cool, whatever, man. I guess whatever. You have to like, so
Far Cry 3 is such a good game.
yeah,
By
it's
far the
pretty
best
solid.
Far Cry game.
I have been so close to buying 6. I literally sit there and look at it for a while. It's like 20% off right now on Ubisoft, and then get another 20% off. So I get it for like $50. But I'm like, man, if I just like, I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy is going on sale for half off.
You should
like
do
next,
it. You should do
next
it.
week. Well, I'm just saying
that
Galaxy
is way better than 6.
If I just wait a little bit, I can just get Far Cry 6 for it's a fun, like if you're into like just dicking around and like I don't really want to do any, I just want to dick around. It's a fun game.
You should stick to Just Cause then because that's the whole point of the game.
I love that game. I love Just Cause so much. I love it more than I love Far Cry though. Because like
Far Cry 3 is by far the most definitive one. You know why? Because every like 40 games that's come behind it has been just Far Cry 3 in the Himalayas. Back in time. Fucking
I didn't like 5, but I think I didn't like 5 because the map was I don't know. That's my only gripe.
Pet mechanics.
It was the map was too big. It was too fucking big, man.
This game's too big.
Like, I mean, like Just Cause 3 has a huge map. Don't get me wrong, but like traversing that map is pretty quick and easy.
Well, you can just get a jet dropped for you, pretty much.
Yeah,
anywhere.
right. Or you can just fast travel wherever you want, right? Like in that sense, which is like, and I'm not saying you can't do that in Far Cry 5, but like you can get a plane, like a propeller plane, that only goes like so fast and stuff. But like, and like there was too many outposts, and I don't know. I mean, like it was too much. It was too much of a good thing. And I didn't really care much for the story either, actually.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like for me, it was always like the villains. Like Voss was awesome, and I mean, like like Voss's boss, like the true last like villain of Far Cry 3, wasn't amazing, but like Voss was awesome. And then when 4, Pagan Min was really really interesting because it like you find out like spoilers for a game that came out for the Xbox 360, but you find out that like every option you choose by killing Pagan Min, you really fuck over the country, right? Yeah. Every option's much worse.
You can also just wait in the mansion until he shows back up and just kill him there.
Super fun. No, what you also can do is just beat the game by just waiting in the mansion, and then he takes you up to the very end of the game. He's like, all right, let's go shoot some shit, and it just ends. And you're like, it's like, should I stay or should I go? Like. The best part about 6 is the villain game that they came out with, where it's like everything's reversed, right? So you can play as Voss, you can play as Pagan Min, right? You can play as the fucking weird cult guy from 5. And I think that's the more interesting one because like the story was always really amazing with 3 and how like it implemented itself, and that's the one that I'd be more interested in, right? I don't care about this rock up backpack that would totally like rip you in half if you ever used it in real life. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've already I bought the stupid Skyrim Anniversary Edition, so that's enough for me for this month. Yeah, I did it. I did it.
You only did it to piss me off.
Also because it's so easy because it comes with all the stupid mods. So it just kind of makes my life a little easier.
Why didn't you just buy the regular one for like $8 on Steam and just download the mod manager and make your own mod, download your own mods?
So I had the original one, and then you just spend like the $10 and you get the upgrade. You don't have to pay full price.
Okay, that's not as bad then, but it's just like,
So
fuck.
yeah.
Why did you bring it up? You just pissed me off. Like just.
It's a good way to end it. Just want you to go to bed angry. That's what I thought.
It's a great way to gaslight Austin.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, I think we should end it here. I'm gonna probably get off and play Skyrim, the Anniversary Edition, and enjoy all those nooks and crannies they added. Go fishing, all that fun stuff. Remember, you can always support us on the Acast supporting system. You can find it in the descriptions below. All the money helps to us do this better. And just if you support the show, and then we can like eventually do t-shirts and shit, which would be awesome. You can also go follow us on Twitter and Instagram at One Podcast for Nerds. You can find us on Twitch at One Podcast for Nerds. It's not it's just One Podcast for Nerds. Just search that up. No @ symbol. You can watch the full episode video recording of this episode, and you can watch us stream board games every Tuesday at 6. So we'll say 7 p.m. because it took us a while to set up last time.
Well, just do some prep work before we get there.
Yeah, Andrew, God.
I'm too busy playing Skyrim. And so it's just, I don't know. But yeah, on that note, we will see you all back here on Twitch at 7 p.m. next week, Saturday. And see you all Tuesday at 7 p.m. if you want to watch us stream some awesome board games of us playing Gloomhaven and I guess the Red Dragon Inn afterwards. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye.
Right.
Bye.
Cheers all.